Peace. Divine keys in this message. Divine key. This key is going to assist you in understanding why I've created so many different vital worlds that we can all experience within this reality. So the illustration is coinciding around plant-based foods. And the reason why I don't wave a plant-based flag and do all these plant-based things is because it's not really about the food when it comes to the meals and the snacks and the lunch. You know, it's not primarily focused on that. The primary focus or the point of focus or the preferred preference of focus is knowledge of self. That is the focus point of making all of the decisions I've made. This is the focus point of illustrating these different types of ways of being. It is not from the concept of, damn, that's a whole trend. The vegan trend is buzzing. Now, I'm not going to pretend like I didn't see that trend. I saw the trend, okay? Duh, like, if your eyes going to be open, let them all the way be open. You feel me? Peep this shit and make use of what you see. You feel me? Like, no, I'm running all up in there. You feel me? So the truth of the matter is the truth within the matter, okay? It's not about what is going on. It's about why it's happening. So you want to understand what and why, okay? So the first thing for me was I was observing family members, colleagues, friends, whoever's, and they were not able to find peace within their health, in the space of their health, because they kept, having different type of ailments, issues, things of this nature. And I was able to realize that it's not because of happenstance that they, have these ailments and things of this nature, because I know that the law of cause and effect is something that's ever present, is ever in play, and you cannot stop this element of this universe, this contrasting duality exchange. So if this is all going to be going on, there has to be a reason for this. So I started to look into it, and I started to understand the body in a different way when I first had the knowledge of self and actualized that information. When I've actualized that information, I started to understand that this, what we call the body, is just not just a body. This is the temple of God. If I'm going to put English words to it, those would be better words than body, okay? Because it brings a very strong sense of sincerity, a strong sense of what's that word? Go ahead, throw that word back. What's that word? A strong sense of I would use the word sovereignty. Okay, and it's an objection. It's an objective. It's the kingdom of God, meaning that things have to be put in place, and we have to keep them in place. You understand? So with that understanding, when I first came to this, I started questioning a lot of things that I was desiring for via the entrance to the kingdom, the gateway, the gatekeeper, the tongue. So I started asking myself, why is this guy at the gate keep letting all this bullshit in here? Well, because he said it tastes good. Well, why does it taste good? Well, it was manufactured so that I could sneak past you and actually make you feel good on the way down and make your brain have a little burst of dopamine so you feel good every time you snack on the fruit snacks. Boom, whatever. I love the fruit snacks too, and I would love to tell you the story of the day I stopped eating them. But the fact of the matter is, we need to understand how to manage the system by knowing and reestablishing what is true within the system. And by doing so, we are now clear upon what this gift is. Okay? Because if you see it just to be a body, then anything that you see on the TV is open for the body. But it's not just a body. This is the temple of God. So I have to understand the manufacturer. I have to understand the manufacturer, okay? And the maintenance process to keep this thing in the tip-top shape and most high possible. If I look outside and I see a Maserati, Bugatti, a Honda Accord, shit. Each of them got a make and a manufacturing policy to maintenance a car. You can't drive 50,000 miles on this shit. You can drive up to a certain amount of miles. You got to get an oil change. You understand? And the oil change is symbolic to a detox in the sense of how much mileage am I going to run on this vehicle before I start taking care of it? How much processing am I going to do with this temple before I actually start organizing the chairs? See, if you walk into a temple right now, like the external version of a 3D version of a temple, even though I'm a 3D version of a temple, I'm talking about the external box we all walk inside, call it temple. That temple, when we walk inside of there, we reverence the source of us and from the inside of there. So that's our objective. That's our ideal when we do that. So we go in there, we see all the chairs are organized, and all the chairs are organized and filed, look like straight teeth. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful smile, You know what I'm saying? And the walls are painted. You know, the glass is stained. The floor, the carpets is vacuumed and swept and everything. This is the same way we got to keep the body, because this is the temple of God. So if I'm actually operating within my own self, then I need to make sure that I'm operating inside of that same level of cleanliness, that same level of character, same level of taking care and responsibility. The same sense that we would use in the external temple has to happen on a physical temple, but it's not able to be done if you don't understand how to manage this temple. So you got to understand what the temple is, understand the purpose of the temple, manage the temple. It's not hard. It's math. It's science. It's all the same stuff. So if I'm going to be managing my temple, I need to understand what it's like to mismanage it. This is the evolution of life. We are here to learn. So the trick of this class is you can learn from your own mistakes, or you can learn from the mistakes of others and skip a grade. So I like to skip class because I don't see why I got to learn if you learned it that fast. You know what I'm saying? So I'll pay attention to what other people are doing and see how their life is unfolding, see how their life is expanding. And I can see, okay, I'm definitely not going to be doing that. Because this is math. If it's going to be doing something, that means cause, and I'm going to see something, that means effect. So if I see you have good effects, I'm going to see what your cause was. You know what I'm saying? If I see you have bad effects, I want to see what your causes were. And then I will make sure not to add those to my own life chemistry, my own life filet mignon and shit like that, like my own life dessert. I don't know what words I want right now, but I'm finding them. But anyways, so if you have that clarity to learn from other people's mistakes, and when you see other people doing things that's not keeping their body in a healthy state, you won't copy them. So when I started seeing that my direct genetic parents, uncles, family members, when I started seeing they have small issues in certain areas, I started to look at the roots of those issues and the purpose behind that issue. What is that issue explaining for them to stop doing, to cease doing, that the body is sending a signal. And I took note of all of those things. And the only way for me to exclaim, I seen all those things, was to make a change that would nullify, what's that word, nullify? To get rid of the effect of all those things in my own life, so that I would not experience none of those things. And the only thing I could say is that they didn't have divine knowledge of self, because if they had knowledge of self, then they would have understood the body is a temple of God. They would understand the body is a temple of God. It's not the body of snacks and cookies. It's the body of rejuvenation and nourishment. And now I do make some bomb-ass vegan cookies, but they all organic. And they definitely got some minerals in there too, because flaxseed, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of omega-3s in the flaxseed. There's a lot of goodness in my cookies. You feel me? But yeah, and yeah, for example, like a lot of people I know, relatives have gas problems, but they stay drinking 2% milk and stuff like that. So like, if you're asking yourself, why are you having a situation and you're not doing nothing different, you're going to keep having the same situation. They say that someone who's looking for a change and doing the same thing is insane. So I don't know what's a lot of people's doing out here, because we got options, baby. So anyway, that's the key. That's the key, family. So the key is understanding the knowledge of self, which illustrates the truth of the body, which is the temple of God. When you understand that, then you take care of the body in that manner. When you take care of the body in that manner, you find yourself in the space of health, which is your true wealth. Now you're rich. You feel me? So I wanted to drop this download for y'all, because I'm definitely going to be speaking more about the plant-based lifestyle. I'm bringing y'all some more of the insights, as they're already available on Taste of Vegan on Instagram, and they're already available on Taste of Vegan website. I'm gonna still flood y'all with the juice and the game, because I got the both. You dig? So, with that being said, that's the video. You dig? Oh, there's another piece. So, if an individual were to say, I get this sometimes, so this is why I'm sharing it with you. If an individual were to say, you know what, I wanted to get the bag of oranges, but it was $5.99, so instead, I'm going to just get 2 McChickens and save the $2. And, you know, this is a scenario, but I'm trying to show you a point of preference, a point of observation, because if you understand your point of preference, you can transform how your life unfolds for you. Because if your point of preference is how much money you don't have, then you just will continue to live a life with no money, because that's your point of preference. So if you use your point of preference to focus on the health that you are sustaining, then everything has to correlate around your point of preference. That's why I use the words point of preference, because everybody prefers to focus in a different way. I prefer the point of preference of truth and of knowledge of self, because those 2 points of preference, number one, they are holistic, they are whole, they are divine, and they actually bring more alignment and agreement than other points of preference. If money's a point of preference and you're thinking about my pocket, and you're not thinking about your pocket, you know what I'm saying? So you have to understand point of preference. The entire world of society is focused on a point of preference of money. That's the reason why there's women outside in America and they don't have no houses. And there's also women in Africa who don't have no houses. Like, there's people who live on the street in all the different places, all the cities. Why? Because the point of preference is fucking money. This shit is fucking, we printing this shit and people are living outside. Why? Like, it should make no sense at all, because the focus is not on knowledge of self. It's not on sustaining the kingdom of God. It's not about that. Their system is not about that. So the things that come from their system is not going to be about that. Their point of focus is not God, period. It's not. So they're not going to get it. They're in God we trust is on the dollar bills. You feel me? So getting back to it, someone who sees, for example, the bag of oranges, $5.99, 2 McChickens, $4, right? They're gonna say, "Oh, I'm gonna go with the McChicken so I can save money." You're not saving anything, bro. You're not. You can have those $2, but those $2 is not saving. You understand me? Because the truth of the matter is the truth within the matter. After you eat those 2 sandwiches, you're gonna feel like shit. Then you're probably gonna lay down and do nothing with the rest of the time, which is the true essence of the day. So if you're not gonna do nothing with the true value of the day, then what was the worth of those sandwiches? The only shit that it was saying at the front door, that's all the worth. The rest of it is fucking painful. Now you got to go try and get this shit out the body and spend 30 minutes in the bathroom. You understand me? So you save nothing trying to save money on food when food is a vital resource. So if that means we got to stack up to fucking get all the motherfucking fruits, then that means we got to stack up to get all the fucking fruits. I'm not going to be eating the fucking white rice just to save the change. That's some bullshit. Because I know that's not what sustains. So the truth of the matter is this. Now, if you elongate that one decision, because we think about things in a one singular motion, but I bring a holistic picture because I don't rest in the single. I rest in the whole. So I always go back to the source in my thinking. So now expand that to a 1 month. A 1 month. I'm not going to talk about how long each of them will last. Just talk about the thinking and the cost. If you eat those sandwiches for a whole month, you just spend money on those sandwiches. How is that effect going to play out in the body structure? How's that effect going to play on your digestive system? How's that effect going to play on your blood sugar levels? All that shit is going to be trashed. You got mayo, bread, refined wheat, refined flour. You know what I'm saying? Bleached American cheese. This shit come and sprint. They gonna shoot it out of a motherfucking machine. You know what I'm saying? Eat that for a whole month, 30 days. Versus fruits, how's your body going to behave? It's going to illustrate to you what you've been illustrating to it. If you're this person over here with the McChickens, your body's going to be dehydrated. Of course, if you added other things, I had a smoothie in the morning, I had a green smoothie, yeah, fine, perfect. But I'm just using this illustration here, okay? The body's going to be dehydrated because these foods are not nourishing. These foods are malnutritional. There's no nutrient density in these foods. So what are you eating for? Pleasure. See, we have confused pleasure and necessity, and this video is going to I'm going to just go ahead and cut it here. Pleasure and necessity. So you're going to find out, bro, in a minute that the doctor is going to be a necessity, especially when shit start popping off. So if I were you, and I am, even though you might not think I am, I will focus on understanding the kingdom of God and stay in the realm of knowledge of self, because that will illustrate to me what my body truly needs, number one. Number two, illustrate to me how to manage and maintain my body based on the aspect of nature and what is the natural process of utilizing this temple. And from there, I'll make the most sound decisions for my whole existence, because not only am I thinking about my future, I'm thinking about my moment, okay? So although I may have these oranges, I know that these oranges are going to give me energy that I can use rather than trying to save money getting these McChickens. So the last thing I want to say is this. Let's say, y'all seen that one documentary, Super Size Me? Dude ate McDonald's for, I don't know, a elongated time, start getting his blood checked and things like that. They was like, yeah, you're going to have to stop the show. You're going to die. I'm just reiterating. It wasn't exactly like that, but it was very close to it. And the truth of the matter is, like, you don't just pay for the food. You pay for the emotional well-being. You pay for the physical well-being, or not. You pay for the laziness in the sense of not understanding how to prepare. You pay for that because now you're unable to help yourself. Let's say you just ate McDonald's for 3 years, got into college, and never baked the food, never made a skillet, never sauteed onions. then now you're also being robbed because you can't even learn because you're utilizing a process that does give you no knowledge. So you're losing on so many. It costs so much to actually be in the system and only abide by the system. It costs so much. Now, if you were to reach the point of disease and you need help, now it's a doctor's bill, and they don't even hold back the tax on that bitch. So now it costs even more to get well when you could just stay well, you know. So emotional, physical, your body, your achy joints, your knees start popping and shit like that. Bro, I went through it, bro. Then, um, then you don't learn anything about your food. So you're actually being robbed of your knowledge every time you sit down to consume a sacred meal. You have nothing about the knowledge about what is taking place. You know what I'm saying? That is a different way of living. That I don't even want to say slave because that's different, bro. Like that's crazy, bro. Like who subjects themselves to that in this day? In this day, I don't understand. I don't understand. So truth of the matter, truth within the matter. Let's get into it. You feel me? Let's get into it. Like that. Anyways, yeah. So appreciate y'all. Tap in for the next divine message. You can find us at Light Power. You can find us at David Mensa. Always, always stay up. You dig? Like that.